Okay, so at one point, some people are like, what's going on with Antarctica?
You can really go down a deep rabbit hole if you read about ice ages.
Antarctica's vast, frozen to the core, and mostly uncharted landscape may seem harmless, but the secrets trapped beneath the thick, icy layer will send shivers down your spine. The mysterious continent with an extreme climate is hiding the earliest signs of life, tragic expedition stories, and maybe even the evasive city of Atlantis. From volcanoes we didn't know existed to signs of alien visitors and eerie creatures never seen before. These are the shocking discoveries from Antarctica that terrified the whole world. Million-year-old DNA. Imagine a group of scientists on a big boat in the icy waters near Antarctica. They weren't searching for treasure or ancient ruins, just some mud from the ocean floor to study. But what they found was better than they ever dreamed. As they pulled up mud from deep below the seafloor nearly 600 feet down, they discovered tiny traces of DNA from ancient organisms. This DNA, some as old as 1 million years, belonged to microorganisms that lived long ago. Scientists believe the newer samples came from diatoms, a type of phytoplankton. These microscopic creatures lived during a time when Earth was much warmer. Studying their DNA might help scientists understand how life in Antarctica's oceans changed with the climate, and how it might change again as our world warms today. Another jaw-dropping discovery was made after uncovering the ancient DNA hidden beneath the seafloor. Massive underground river. Using special radar on aircraft that could see through the thick ice, they found something unexpected deep below the frozen surface, a massive underground river. This river is even longer than the Thames in England. It carries melting ice from a giant area about the size of France and Germany put together, and flows into the Weddell Sea. If all the ice feeding this river were to melt due to climate change, sea levels around the world could rise by over 14 feet. That would cause big problems for cities and people living near the ocean. Scientists think there might be many more hidden rivers under Antarctica's ice, creating an entire underground network. These rivers are a reminder of how much we still have to learn about this frozen continent, and how its secrets could affect the entire planet. Scientists tracked the underground rivers beneath Antarctica and noticed another dramatic event unfolding. High above the icy expanse, satellites captured an astonishing sight: a gigantic iceberg breaking free from the Ron ice shelf. Gigantic iceberg. This new iceberg, called A76, is as big as Rhode Island. It stretches 105 miles long and 15 miles wide. Floating now in the Weddell Sea, the same icy waters where explorer Ernest Shackleton faced disaster long ago. Satellites from Europe's Copernicus program spotted it first, confirming what the British Antarctic Survey had seen. Although this iceberg won't raise sea levels directly, since it came from a floating ice shelf, there's still concern. Ice shelves act like brakes, slowing glaciers from sliding into the ocean. Without them, glaciers could melt faster, making seas rise. Antarctica's warming climate, caused by natural cycles and human impact, holds enough frozen water to raise global sea levels by 200 feet. Scientists continue watching A76 and others closely, hoping to uncover what's next for Earth's coldest continent. As scientists study Antarctica's present-day changes, they've also unearthed stories from its incredible past. Sea monster. Imagine a time when dinosaurs roamed the icy land and massive sea creatures ruled the oceans. One such discovery took place on Seymour Island, where a remarkable fossil of a sea monster was found. This creature, a type of plesiosaur called an elasmosaur, could have been nearly 40 feet long and weighed as much as 15 tons. Unlike its long-necked cousins, this elasmosaur had a sturdier head and a shorter neck, making it unique. Scientists believe it lived about 30,000 years before the giant asteroid struck Earth, wiping out dinosaurs and many other creatures. This amazing find shows that Antarctica was once home to a vibrant underwater world full of life. The fossil gives us a glimpse into the past, proving how much the frozen continent has changed and how its ancient mysteries continue to amaze us today. Antarctica's icy lands have revealed many secrets from the past, and the discoveries just keep getting more surprising. Imagine uncovering something so strange and mysterious that scientists couldn't figure it out for years. Largest soft-shell egg. That's exactly what happened when a bizarre giant fossil was found in 2011. It wasn't until 2020 that researchers finally cracked the case. This strange object turned out to be the largest soft-shell egg ever discovered, measuring over 11 inches long and 7 inches wide. Scientists think this 68-million-year-old egg came from a marine reptile over 20 feet long, possibly a mosasaur. These sea creatures, which looked like giant paddle-tailed lizards, were believed to give birth to live young. But finding this egg has sparked new questions about how they reproduced. This discovery opens a window into the ancient world of Antarctica's oceans and shows how much there is still to learn about these prehistoric giants. For years, scientists have studied this frozen land, believing it to be a lifeless, unchanging place. But what if the truth was far more explosive? Hidden volcanic region. In a groundbreaking study, researchers from Edinburgh University uncovered a hidden volcanic region deep below the ice sheet of West Antarctica. They didn't just find a few volcanoes, they discovered 91 previously unknown volcanoes, adding to the 47 already known in the region. Some of these volcanoes are as tall as the Eiger in Switzerland, reaching nearly 4,000 meters. Why does this matter? If one of these volcanoes erupts, it could cause the ice sheets above them to melt at a faster rate, sending more water into the oceans. This could speed up rising sea levels, affecting coastlines around the world. Scientists are now racing to understand how active these volcanoes might be and what the future holds for this icy continent. Fish Nursery. Another surprising discovery in early 2022 shocked scientists when a massive icefish nursery was found in the Weddell Sea. This part of the ocean has some of the clearest waters ever seen and was explored by a German icebreaker ship. Scientists found a giant icefish nursery on the seafloor of the Weddell Sea. It happened when a German ship with a big camera explored those super-clear waters. The camera showed millions of nests, each protected by an adult icefish. Normally, icefish colonies only have a few dozen nests, but this one had around 60 million, way more than ever seen before. It was near a warm spot in the sea, and nobody knows why yet. The scientists were so amazed they couldn't believe their eyes. On the video feed, they could see fish nests pockmarking the seafloor about every 10 inches in all directions and covering an area of 93 square miles. In addition to living fish guarding nests, the team found that the area was littered with fish carcasses as well, suggesting that this massive icefish colony is an integral part of the local ecosystem, most likely serving as prey for Weddell seals. Warm caves. Following discoveries of subglacial lakes and rivers, scientists uncovered something extraordinary near Mount Erebus. In 2017, a team from the Australian National University explored warm caves beneath this active volcano. These caves, created by volcanic steam, stay as warm as 25 degrees Celsius. Sunlight sneaks in through thin ice and cave openings, lighting up these hidden worlds. Even more amazing, the researchers found DNA from algae, moss, and animals in the cave soil. This study shows what might be living under Antarctica's ice, maybe even new species, said Keredwin Fraser, the lead scientist. They also believe other caves could exist near other Antarctic volcanoes, waiting to be explored. These discoveries hint that Antarctica's frozen surface may be hiding more life than anyone imagined. Antarctic scale worm. The icy waters around Antarctica are home to some of the most unusual creatures on Earth. These animals have adapted to the cold, dark depths of the Southern Ocean in ways that might surprise you. One such fascinating resident is the Antarctic scale worm, a creature so strange and rare that it sounds like it belongs in a storybook. Meet the Antarctic scale worm, a marine creature that looks like it's wearing a golden jacket. It's not the cuddly kind, though. This worm lives deep in the icy ocean, more than 1,640 feet below the surface, near Antarctica. It's about 8 inches long, and luckily it's not something you'd bump into while swimming. Even with its strange looks, this worm is a great example of how life survives in tough places. The Antarctic scale worm is just one of the many odd creatures living in this cold, faraway world. Imagine a world where Antarctica wasn't always covered in ice. Another surprising discovery was made that hints this icy land was once much warmer. Forest fossils. Scientists actually found amber, a kind of fossilized tree resin, a sediment core recovered thousands of feet below the surface of the Antarctic. This amber could be proof that a warm forest existed there 90 million years ago, during the time of the dinosaurs. The amber was found near the Amundsen Sea in western Antarctica. This is the first time amber has been discovered on the continent. Scientists believe the amber shows what the environment was like in that part of Antarctica long ago. They think the area may have been home to temperate rainforests with trees that could produce resin. The finding supports the idea that millions of years ago, Antarctica was much warmer and teeming with life. Scientists are excited because this discovery gives them clues about how the forests worked and how they may have survived. It's like finding a window into Earth's distant past. Giant sea spiders. In the cold waters off the coast of Antarctica, giant sea spiders have quietly raised their young for over 140 years. For a long time, no one knew exactly how they did this. But in 2021, researchers went to the ocean floor and made an exciting discovery. They found these giant sea spiders using a very unique way to have babies. The sea spiders, which grow much bigger than other sea creatures due to polar gigantism, were collected while mating. Once brought to special tanks, scientists saw something unusual. One parent, most likely the father, spent 2 days sticking the eggs to the sea floor. After this, the eggs were covered by tiny algae, making them hard to see, which helped protect them. This strange way of raising babies was different from most sea spiders, where the father carries the babies around. Scientists were amazed, as they had never seen anything like it before. This discovery could help scientists learn more about life in Antarctica and beyond. Snailfish. Deep beneath the ocean, there are all kinds of strange and amazing creatures that live in the cold, dark waters. One of these creatures is the snailfish, a funny-looking fish with soft, jelly-like skin instead of scales. Their bodies are shaped like tadpoles, and at the bottom they have huge suckers. These suckers help them stick to rocks and other things on the ocean floor, so they don't drift away. There are around 335 types of snailfish in the world, and 20 of them live in the icy waters of the Arctic. Though they might look silly, they have an incredible talent. Snailfish can survive in some of the deepest parts of the ocean, even in the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth. This special ability helps them live in places where most other animals could never survive. Water bear. Imagine a tiny, almost invisible creature living in the coldest, most extreme place on Earth. This creature is so small, it's almost like a tiny speck, but it has some surprising abilities. It's called a tardigrade, but people sometimes call it a water bear because of its round body and little claws. Despite how small and cute it looks, tardigrades are tough survivors. They can do something special that helps them survive in places where nothing else could live. When things get too dry or cold, tardigrades can take all the water out of their bodies and replace it with sugar. This helps them stay alive in harsh conditions, almost like freezing themselves to protect against the dangers around them. In fact, tardigrades are so tough that scientists even sent them into space. They survived the harshness of space, including deadly radiation and the lack of air. These little creatures are both old and strong. Hof Crab. Have you ever heard of a crab named after a TV star? Well, in the icy waters of Antarctica, at depths of 2,000 meters, lives a peculiar creature nicknamed the Hof Crab, named after David Hasselhoff. Why? It's all because of its hairy chest-like appearance, which some think resembles the star's iconic look from Baywatch. This unusual crab survives in one of the coldest places on Earth by sticking close to hydrothermal vents. These vents are like natural fireplaces deep in the ocean. The crabs crowd near them to stay warm, much like people huddling around a campfire. But it's a tricky balancing act. Get too close and they'll cook in the scalding water, stay too far and they'll freeze. As a bonus, these vents are packed with bacteria, which the crabs munch on for food. Life isn't easy for the Hof crab, but it has mastered the art of living in a place most creatures wouldn't dare call home. Space rocks. Antarctica is more than just a frozen desert, it's a treasure chest for scientists, especially those looking for meteorites. Hidden in its icy expanse are clues about space, planets, and even the early days of our solar system. But why is this frozen land such a hotspot for space rocks? Let's find out. Meteorites can fall anywhere on Earth, but they're much easier to find in Antarctica. The ice and snow keep these rocks well preserved because they stay cold and dry. Their dark color makes them stand out against the white icy surface. Unlike other places on Earth, most rocks in Antarctica come from space since the ice sheets don't form natural stones. East Antarctica is especially rich in meteorites. Strong winds and sunlight slowly wear down the top layers of ice, exposing older layers full of meteorites. Since 1976, scientists have collected over 20,000 meteorites here. In 2013, a Japanese-Belgian team found a massive 18-kilogram meteorite, the largest in 25 years, alongside 425 others. Among their finds were pieces of Mars and asteroid Vesta. Cold desert. What if we told you that Antarctica is also a desert? It doesn't have the heat or sand of other deserts, but it's the driest place on Earth. It gets only about 50 millimeters of rain a year, and almost all of it is buried under thick ice. But there's a special part called the McMurdo Dry Valleys. Here, there's no ice, just big sandy dunes, some as tall as 70 meters and as wide as 200 meters. You can't slide down them like at a regular beach, but they're super important for scientists. These valleys are a lot like Mars, and researchers think they might hold clues about life on other planets. Something surprising is happening, though. The dunes are moving. They shift about 1.5 meters every year because the warming air is melting ice and making the sand slide. Scientists are racing to study these dunes before they vanish. Pelia. Antarctica's icy surface hides mysteries that scientists are still trying to figure out. One such strange phenomenon appeared in 2017 when a massive hole, almost the size of Switzerland, opened up in the Weddell Sea. This wasn't the first time such a hole, called a Pelia, appeared, but it was the largest observed in over 40 years. Researchers discovered the hole, known as the Maud Rise Pelia, in Antarctica's Weddell Sea between 1974 and 1976. Since then, it has reappeared infrequently and sporadically, popping up in varied proportions but in the same location, and sometimes disappearing at all for years. This left scientists perplexed as to the precise conditions required for the hole to occur. In 2016 and 2017, a vast 80,000 square kilometers opened up for several weeks during both winters, allowing scientists to have a closer look at the phenomenon and finally answer the 50-year enigma. Here's how it works. Warm, salty water from deep below rises to the surface because of ocean currents. When this warmer water touches the ice above, it melts it, creating the hole. Then, as the water cools down at the surface, it sinks back down, only to be heated again and pushed up. This cycle keeps the Pelia open. Scientists are still puzzling over why these holes form. Some think they might help marine animals, like seals, breathe in icy waters. Understanding these giant openings could unlock more secrets about Earth's climate and oceans. Bloodfalls. Another unusual sight in Antarctica is a place called Bloodfalls, which can be found in the McMurdo Dry Valley. It's a waterfall that pours bright red water from Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. From a distance, it looks like blood spilling from a wound in the ice. Scientists have figured out what causes this mysterious red color. The water comes from an old salty lake that's been trapped beneath glaciers for a long time. This water is rich in iron, and because it doesn't get any oxygen or sunlight, it stays sealed inside the glacier. When the water finds a crack in the ice and reaches the air, the iron reacts with oxygen and rusts, turning the water a dark red color. This strange sight is so remote that the only way to see it is by helicopter or on cruise ships that visit the Ross Sea. It's one of Antarctica's most fascinating mysteries. 3 elongated skulls. Another finding in 2014 left scientists scratching their heads and sparked endless debates. It wasn't just a rock or ice sample, it was something truly puzzling. Here's what happened. Researchers found 3 strange skulls buried in the icy depths of Antarctica. Unlike regular human skulls, these were shaped very differently, which led to all kinds of ideas about where they came from. Some people thought they might belong to aliens. Others believed ancient civilizations could have stretched the skulls as part of a ritual. But the big mystery is how these skulls ended up in such a cold, isolated place. Even today, no one knows the full story. This discovery raises more questions than answers, keeping scientists and curious minds wondering what other secrets Antarctica might be hiding. Ancient Pyramid. Imagine a discovery so surprising that it might change history forever. Now let's talk about something fascinating found near the Shackleton mountain range. In 2016, satellite pictures showed something extraordinary. A structure that looked a lot like the Great Pyramid of Giza. It has 4 sides, just like the famous Egyptian pyramid, and many wonder if it could be the oldest pyramid ever. Some people think it might have been built by ancient civilizations or even aliens. Scientists are curious too, but without more evidence, they can't be sure if it's man-made or a natural formation. If it turns out to be a real pyramid, it would mean pyramids were built earlier than we ever thought. For now, the mystery stays frozen, waiting for someone to uncover its secrets. Secret Door. A strange door-like shape seen on Google Maps near Japan's Showa Station in East Antarctica has stirred countless theories online. Some claim it's a secret Nazi base, an alien entrance, or even Bigfoot's vacation spot. But scientists have a simpler answer. A Reddit user first spotted the door in East Antarctica, sharing the coordinates with a playful question. Massive door in Antarctica? The internet quickly erupted with wild ideas, from hidden bunkers to a secret penguin kingdom. However, experts like glaciologist Bethan Davies explain it's just nature at work. This door is an iceberg stuck in shallow water, melting in a way that makes it appear rectangular. Wind and ice movement shaped it further. While scientists assure us it's a natural formation, the internet keeps the fun alive with endless creative theories. Nature's quirks sure make for great stories. Atlantis. The icy land of Antarctica, known today for its penguins and scientists, hides more than just snow and ice. Some believe it might conceal secrets from a forgotten time. Could it even be the legendary Atlantis? This idea sparks curiosity and wonder. One theory suggests that 12,000 years ago, Earth's crust shifted, leaving parts of Antarctica ice-free. If true, ancient humans might have lived there, much like Plato described in his stories of Atlantis, a city where gods and humans came together. Over time, the ice returned, possibly erasing traces of these people. Supporters of this theory often point to the 1530 Peary race map, claiming it shows Antarctica's coastline before explorers found it. Some say NASA's satellite images reveal signs of ancient human settlements under the ice. While many remain skeptical, the thought of a hidden city beneath the Antarctic ice keeps the mystery alive, inspiring exploration and imagination. Endurance Shipwreck. Last on the list is the story of the Endurance ship, which is one of mystery and discovery. For many years, people wondered if the famous ship, lost in Antarctica, would ever be found again. The Endurance was part of an expedition led by Sir Ernest Shackleton in 1915. Unfortunately, the ship was trapped and crushed by ice, sinking into the Weddell Sea. For over a century, it was thought to be lost forever. But in a surprising turn of events, the ship was recently found at the bottom of the sea, much better preserved than anyone expected. Despite being underwater for so long, the Endurance looks like it has survived the harsh conditions of the icy sea. This amazing find gives us a glimpse into what it was like for explorers back then and shows the strength and resilience of the ship and its journey through one of the toughest places on Earth. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.